I wrote a book about all this stuff, about having attention deficit disorder and, being distracted all the time and, and getting high and being, rambunctious and all that stuff as a kid. I always had like a little, fire in my pants,
Attention deficit disorder,
Yeah.
but amazing attention to detail.
Well, actually, yeah. But you're able to do, as an entrepreneur with an ADD, you're able to have like 6 conversations at once. You're able, because your mind is going like this. That's very good for that, but it's not good for other things.
Got it.
So there's pro and con with it. And it's a gift in a way to be able to do all that. It's kind of like, it's kind of like watching TV, watching a bunch of channels at once, watching 3-4 things at once. You could, but also there's there's the other side of that, which is, it's very frustrating, losing things, losing your temper, very tough on relationships. I don't know why we're getting into that right away.
No, we'll get into it more.
Yeah. No, but I always like to say that it's a pro and con thing. And most kids actually today, they take medication for it. It's a big deal. Most of the people, a lot of kids.
Do you think that's necessary?
It's a great question. Because I'm dealing with that actually with my son right now. So my son he's got terrible ADD. He's a great kid. He's, real teenage boy, 15 years old, loves to play ball, loves hip hop, loves girls, whatever. But he's very sloppy, can't focus, messy, distracted. There's a lot of like little things with ADD. They kind of hit you a lot. They do all this like stuff. They have all this weird shit, So they give this medication. It's either Ritalin or Adderall. There's a lot of medications, but
Adderall.
There's actually a shortage of Adderall. Did you hear that? Did anybody hear that?
I heard about it when I was on it.
Oh, you did? Were you on it?
Yes.
That's so funny. So
Self-prescribed.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, I did that with cocaine. I thought that would help, and it didn't. It's a methamphetamine. It is an amphetamine. These drugs, Vyvanse, Ritalin, and my son is skinny too. And I want him to gain weight. He wants to gain weight. So I've kept him off the medication.
Got it.
I have, but it's possible he has trouble in school, and it would help him in school. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't love giving amphetamines to young kids.
There we go.
I don't think it's.
There we go. I don't necessarily love it either.
I don't think it's a great thing.
That's why I asked.
Yeah. They want to give it to 9-year-olds.
Yeah.
Amphetamines. It just seems.
The business of it.
Well, let's get past that even. Just to get past the business. There are well-meaning pharmacologists who actually think, it gets the kids to work. And, the bigger story is that if the kids are doing bad in school, it affects their self-esteem. Right. So that's sort of like what they throw out there. I'd rather my son gain weight and get a C, to be honest with you.
I get it.
I was a terrible student. I had no discipline.
Were you that way before you got there?
I took drugs all the time. What do you want me to? Just didn't have a chance. It was that ADD thing also, I just didn't have a chance. I went to school at 18 and I was just like this, like a wild dog running the streets.
Slow down. There's something in here.
Okay, go ahead. Let's do it.
You had ADHD.
Yes, sir.
And your family knew you had ADHD.
Well, no, in those days, we didn't know about that. That was the 70s. It wasn't a big deal then. It was just a wild, lazy, sloppy, rambunctious kid. Nobody talked about attention deficit disorder. That sort of came out in the 80s. I remember somebody gave me a book. called Driven to Distraction. I think it was even 1990. That was the name of the book. And I read it like it talked about attention deficit disorder. This, all these things. And I thought was my fault. I thought I had this terrible character defects, and I found out that I had this sort of disorder,
Yeah, but did that lead to you? Did you ever feel understood in your household growing up then?
No.
You know how like you speak, like you can kind of understand what's going on with your son?
Yeah.
Because of your experience?
Yes, I do. That's true. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. I do understand my son. It's frustrating when I see like how a clean room can be like within minutes, like a tornado hit it. That's like an ADD thing. Like you just can't, everything is flying around and you can't kind of like organize your brain. If you ever saw the locker of an ADD person, it's unimaginable. It's like
Clutter.
Beyond clutter, because they just can't, there's something wrong with their brains. They can't get it together.
Let's speed up and get back to college.
Yes.
I never went to college.
Yeah.
Tell me how you fucked
I never
it
went
up.
to college either.
Tell me how you
No, I was in college.
How'd you jack it all up?
I only went for a year. I was ill-equipped.
Because we should have access to way more drugs now.
Yeah, I was ill-equipped, and my father called me up. He says, "I'm not paying for you to go to school. You're not serious. You got to go. That's it. You're out." And it was great what he did, because I went to work in a shoe store, and I learned the shoe business.
So you were there for how long?
College?
Yeah.
Maybe 3 semesters.
Wow, not even a year?
2 semesters is a year, so it's sort of like one.
Well, not 2 years, got it.
1 1/4. But I just couldn't do it. Kids do it today. I'm amazed, actually. So many kids, and they do well, but they give them those drugs. That's a big thing today. And they do well. They give them Adderall. Most of the kids, they call it focus medication.
Yeah.
And so maybe I should have taken it. I don't know. I mean, there was this movie with Bradley Cooper. It was called Limitless.
Love that movie.
Yeah. And, it's like that movie. These kids are taking this drug and they're doing well. I mean, I don't know I swear to God, I don't know. I haven't met any young females in college that are not on that medication, that focus.
Adderall, yeah.
Yeah, or whatever it is, Vyvanse or whatever